Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, the first thing you think about when you hear the name Tinubu is the word corruption, and the key component of corruption of course is fraud. Guys, I bring you this: Tinubu, Alpha Beta, others accused of fraud, tax evasion and money laundering. So of course, as I said, the association of the name Tinubu and the word corruption are twinned within the Nigerian space, and that association ultimately will prove to be the death knell on his presidential ambitions, with the 2 billion vans being the drum beats of the funeral service for that presidential ambition. Again, the headline: Tinubu, Alpha Beta, others accused of fraud, tax evasion and money laundering. So now let's not get into the details of it. Dapo Akpara, a Nigerian chartered accountant, has accused a former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, a consulting firm, Alpha Beta, and a former commissioner in the state, Akin Duhati, of money laundering, fraud, tax evasion, and sundry corrupt practices. Mr. Akpara, in writ of summons deposed to at a Lagos High Court, claimed that Mr. Tinubu and Alpha Beta reneged on certain agreements reached in the past about the management and control of the consulting firm. Alpha Beta is a consulting firm handling the computation, tracking, and reconciliation of internally generated revenue (IGR) in Lagos State in return for a commission. Mr. Akpara claimed that apart from owning 30% stake in the company, other stakeholders are Michael Ogunmola, trading under the name and style Mono Consulting, 40%, Tunde Badejo, trading under the name and style Igbo Consult, 15%, and again Tunde Badejo, trading under the name and style Intergrieve Services, 15%. He also claimed that the company was being used for massive corruption purposes, including tax evasion, bribery of government officials, diversion of funds and money laundering. The 40-page writ of summons, seen by correspondents, was issued by Mr. Akpara's lawyer, Tade Ipadiola. Details of the claims include an order compelling an account of all sums due to Mr. Akpara from 2010 till date, an order tracing all funds and assets due him from the inception of the company till date, an order of specific performance of certain clauses of the partnership agreements that created the company by extant partners, an order for payment to the claimant by the defendant. All sums are judged to be due him on submission of the account, and payment of 10% interest on the sums adjudged to be due him. The first, second, and third defendants, according to the writ, include Alpha Beta Consulting, Mr. Tinubu, and Mr. Duhati, respectively. So there you have it now, ladies and gentlemen. This is now the real goings on. You see this name, Alpha Beta, the name of that company, Alpha Beta, has been recurring in the corruption decimal of Lagos State for years and years and years. And whenever they are throwing missives of allegations of corruption in the direction of Tinubu, the name Alpha Beta, the name of that company, is usually in the packaging, is the outer layer wrapping of that nucleus that they're throwing in the direction of Tinubu. So we're now getting to the unpicking now of what this Alpha Beta is actually all about. So we'll just for the purposes of just nailing it down, because of the importance of it, we just remind ourselves what it says again. Alpha Beta is a consulting firm handling the computation, tracking and reconciliation of internally generated revenue in Lagos State in return for a commission. So now, just so we're clear on the magnitude of what we're actually talking about, let's just go to figures in 2014. Let's use figures from 2014 with GDP in 2014 pegged at $90 billion. Lagos economy stands as the 7th largest in Africa. So that is 2014 figures, because those are the figures most readily available to me. But now I think from what I can recall, Lagos is now placed as the 4th largest economy in Africa. But as at 2014, it was a $90 billion economy. So you can then add an additional $50 billion comfortably to that. So we're talking about $140 billion economy. So this is what we're talking about. And this Alpha Beta Consulting, which to all intents and purposes is an Tinubu shell company, is a briefcase company, is a company packaged together for Tinubu to continue to have his fingers in the tills of the Lagos State coffers. So we're talking about the coffers, of course, that is what $140 billion by our guesstimation and based on the projections of the figures from 2014. And then, of course, now this guy now has placed himself as the person that does the computation, tracking and reconciliation of the internally generated revenue, i.e. the wallet of Lagos State, for a commission. So commissions are typically ranges from 10% upwards, but let's just average it at 17%. That's a round enough figure to be like a conservative estimate. So this guy effectively is getting 17% of the $140 billion dollar economy that is Lagos State, and is getting this year in, year out, year out without fail. And that, of course, is in addition to all of the contracts then, of course, that is just funneling to himself and his family from that state. So now we're beginning to get a feel of the level of wealth that this guy commands within the Nigerian space. So this is now another addition to the ever-growing packaging of that real thing now that the Nigerian people see this guy as the public face, at least the contemporary public face of corruption in Nigeria. The overall public face of corruption in Nigeria is Buhari, Babangida, Abacha, and Obasanjo, but at a layer lower than the presidential coffers and almost to their level even, because Lagos State is a good 40% of the entirety of the economy of Nigeria. The wealth in Lagos State is more than the wealth in the Niger Delta region, because Lagos State is the commercial hub of the country, is the main port of the country, is one of the 7 mega cities in the world. So it's a huge economy. Lagos State economy, as we've already established, is in the top 7 and now number 4 really economy in the entirety of Africa. So it's a vast wealth that we're talking about, and this guy is slicing 17% out of its internally generated revenue. Conversations in the comment section, we're now adding flesh to the bone of the corruption toga that this guy has worn all of his life, and we're now seeing where that corruption perception actually comes from. Come share thoughts, but before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, come join me then in the comment section. Come tell me what you're making of this staggering revelation that we're now seeing. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.